It has been a wonderful journey so far, watching awesome poets read their poetry. Professor Ashwini, Mansi, the Indian Novels Collective, and Kitab Khana are doing a stupendous job pulling in all these voices together and making this event possible amid this scare and confinement that this COVID-19 has forced us into. Well, today here I am reading a few poems. So, to begin with, this poem, in the present times when people are confined in their homes, and there are a few traces of life out on the roads, outdoors, and other places which are normally active and brimming with life, this poem sees life in a different perspective, somehow matching with the current situation. The title of the poem is Skyscrapers. My head has turned into a sextant, adjusting the angle of sight between an unseen base and the towering top while counting the dot-shaped windows. At night, the light beams pierce into darkness from these dot-shaped windows. Some windows mimic the stars, some the comets, for they too have a tail of phosphorescent glow. Inside, the days and nights have lost their identity. They are just camouflaged like each other, nights bright like the day, and days dark like the nights, and those who breathe inside somehow forget to live. Outside on the vertical heights, some seeds from the bird droppings germinate into tender seedlings that grow watching the sun set and rise, feeling the drops of rain roll over their skin and somehow remember to live. Coming from a place where the word disappear matters a lot, this poem, Shadows of Matter, tells us about something. Sorry. A sly shadow of a cat scurries across the road near the dark bend, swerving towards an alien habitation. The sun plays games with animals now, for humans are too clever, using physical terms to define its maneuvers. The shadow creeps back, the cat following, trying to snatch it off the ground. The kids in the adjacent park shoo away the pigeons, trying to find grains in their own shadows. The cat's shadow is exuberant, having seen the shadows of pigeons that disappear in fright, leaving behind the pigeons in flight. It's so dark again, like yesterday, when so many other shadows disappeared, shadows of humans who could not apply physics to their disappearance, belying matter can neither be created nor destroyed, questioning thus, do shadows matter? Here's a poem from my first collection, The Pheromone Trail. This poem is by the name The Pheromone Trail itself. So here it goes. Whispers roam in the streets like bits of paper in a breeze that sweeps across. The faces turn around at the sudden hush of an unsaid word, resuming their routine with a questioning nod, and a brooding silence prevails like after effects of this unfamiliar silence, which echoes and is echoed back. The ants continue their toil on a pheromone trail which guides them on an invisible route and leads them to their destination. And we men too are led by our fates, like these unseen lines that are drawn across our lives and crisscrossing with others. A familiar face is surrounded by strangers in its homeland where its own territories are out of bounds and marked by the piss of carnivores whose grins project their canines, and instill fear in the meek lambs who bleat fearfully. And the ants continue their journey on that pheromone trail, and the familiar faces continue to be surrounded by all the more strange faces, and we men continue to be led by our stars and keep on crisscrossing the lines. The territories continue to be marked by the hot piss, and the lambs continue to bleat meekly with their woolly skins waiting to be torn down by the hungry hounds. But the bits of paper are sucked up into a whirlwind, and so do the whispers tear into screams, and the faces turn around again to hear the said words, leaving their routine with unquestioning statue-like heads in this pandemonium, whereafter it breaks into sobs absorbed into patience, and the ants run helter-skelter too. Someone erased the pheromone trail. Here is a ghazal in English. So this goes by the name Nemesis, a ghazal. Would you for real believe that my name is Nemesis? For all my notoriety in the bylanes, see my fame is Nemesis. You shall reap what you sow is an age-old parable. You read, memorized, so what? In real my game is Nemesis. There are 1,001 ways how I bounce back. We have marched on, burnt bridges, thought, why lame is Nemesis? Thus wild and free, unbridled, rash, ravenous, rough and rude. Somehow you mistook me gullible, shy, tame is Nemesis? Your own deeds you praised, sang, eulogized, mine you reproached. The laurels you reap is your reward, then why blame is Nemesis? The paths are same, ways crisscrossing, orbits intertwining all around. Your deeds deserve pride, they say, why my shame is Nemesis? Let us settle it once for all, Zahid, pack the bags and leave. The winds could be all yours, only my claim is Nemesis. Thank you. So, this is a poem written for the loss of a close family member. Days, nights. Some days don't begin with mornings. Many days end with the evenings. Some days start at night like dreams, and many nights start during the day. That's when pain eclipses the sun of joy forever. They say days are born out of nights, and days turn into nights when they die. It takes many nights to make a day bright, and a single night to turn many days dark. The sun, the moon, and stars are just lamps that switch on and off. The days and nights are there for some other reason. Days that look like nights camouflage the stars over their grim moments. Nights that look like days steal the sun from the other end of the globe. We keep clutching the loose ends of the days to tie them to the fleeting nights. They slip, sometimes stretch. We stand, stagger, recoil and recover, and at last fall, fatigued, to be pulled along those stretching ends, disappearing in the gaps between the days and nights. And those left behind keep staring at the days that look like nights. nights they lose the count of. This poem has been translated by my friend Mr. Abed into Kashmiri, and this is how it goes in Kashmiri language. Preth doh chun rotli pat neran, mechu sham dohai az pat laran. Zan gruhun chu viz viz aftabas, zan ratich dagcham wini koran. Mechu gomut gans phir khwaban az, mechu dohle gashas doh soran. Aftab yuzun tarak mal, ak akis basan pat doran. Yim ditan bas timil saruk, doh tsukthi pat chum sham huran. Kuni dohle ki gam hui sombra wak, cham rath na moklan tim ganzran. The last poem that I'm going to read is one of my favorites, The Word, the Meaning. Where is the meaning of the word whose search has left me sleepless? The word and its meaning play hide and seek, sometimes the word slipping into oblivion, sometimes its meaning eluding. And once I gripped the word tight, trying to peel it off, looking for the meaning. I scratched, combed, dug, and cut, with no signs of the meaning. When I took the word and cut it away into the letters, hoping the meaning would bleed out, it didn't. Those letters I broke again into alphas and betas, again with no trace of the meaning, and by then the word had crumbled, leaving me shocked for having lost a word in a vain search for its meaning. Looking around, I saw there was nothing around, no words, no meanings. I realized I was the word, I was the meaning. Thank you, everybody.